Federal Housing Administration FHA program part of HUD for promoting home ownership. The Federal Housing Administration FHA is a program that is a part of the Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD. FHA's purpose is to promote home ownership in America. An, quote, FHA loan, end quote, is not a loan from FHA, but a loan insured by FHA against loss from default, as long as the loan originator followed FHA's requirements in making the loan. One of FHA's requirements is to use its appraisal guidelines. Because appraisals which are not done accurately can be so harmful to a healthy real estate finance system, FHA strictly monitors this issue. There are different FHA loan programs. The Section 203B is their normal loan. Section 203K allows the remodeling or rebuilding of a home in conjunction with a purchase. Section 245 graduated payment mortgage, energy efficient mortgage, and Section 255 reverse annuity mortgage. The FHA program has been a major force in American homeownership since 1934. The FHA program is a part of HUD and has the purpose of promoting home ownership. Codicil or Codicil, legal change of a living person's will. The words maker or testator describe the person who is making a will. While a person is still alive, if he wants to change his will, he will use a codicil. A codicil is a legal change of a living person's will. Of course, a person who has died has no need to change his will. Condominium. Owned spaces and common spaces regulated by CC&Rs. A condominium complex or a planned development PD is a common interest development CID. Common interest developments combine private ownership of real property with common areas that are owned by all participants. Most CIDs have a homeowners association, HOA. The HOA develops and operates according to the CID's covenants, conditions, and restrictions, parentheses, CC&Rs, and parentheses. Condominiums, planned developments, stock corporations, community apartment projects, and timeshares are all CIDs that are also considered to be subdivisions and are therefore under the subdivision laws. Related words: common interest development, CID, planned development, PD, planned unit development, PUD. Depreciation, loss of value of real property. Depreciation is a loss of value in real property for any of the following reasons: age, economic obsolescence, functional obsolescence, or other reasons. There is also appreciation, which can result from inflation or improvements. Depreciation can be important for different reasons. For example, for appraisal purposes, where usually the more value the better because we want deductions. When it comes to depreciation due to age, there is actual age, which is the age of the structure, and effective age, which is actual age accelerated by more rapid deterioration or reversed by improvements which back up the effect of actual age. There are two types of depreciation: curable, which can be fixed, and incurable, which are things that cannot be fixed. Depreciation for tax purposes usually uses a straight-line method based on the cost basis or adjusted basis and divides it by the allowable number of years, say 25, and deducts that amount each year until zero is reached. For appraisal, depreciation is more complicated because we want to know the value of the property including depreciation. Depreciation is the loss of value of real property. Antonyms: appreciation. Related words: depreciation for appraisal purposes, depreciation for tax purposes, curable, incurable. Fictitious business name. Other name person or company is using for business. A fictitious business name is what a business under one name uses when it does business under another name, or when a person does business under a company name. So, the Gamut Group Inc. starts a furniture division called Calcraft Furniture. Calcraft Furniture is called a fictitious business name, even though there is nothing, quote, fictitious, end quote, about it. If a person were opening a business called Calcraft Furniture, then the same is true. The company name is called a quote, end quote, fictitious business name. Another name for a fictitious business name is DBA. DBA, or doing business as. The form to file a fictitious business name is called a DBA form. The DBA statement is published in the local paper for 3 weeks so that all will know who is doing business as the company name. The DBA statement can then be taken to a bank, and the bank will open an account in the name of the business. A fictitious business name is a DBA, or doing business as name, and is the name of a company that a person or a company is operating under other than his or her own name. Synonyms: doing business as, DBA. Attorney in fact. Person who has been given power of attorney. Attorney in fact is the name of a person who has been given power of attorney. Power of attorney is giving another person the authority to act on one's behalf. There is a legal piece of paper on which such authority is granted, called a power of attorney form. To cancel a power of attorney, a revocation is required. Special or specific power of attorney is the authority to act on a singular topic or capacity. General power of attorney is the authority to act on all aspects. The agency relationship is a real estate broker/agent, and a principal is a specific agency because it only deals with selling or buying a piece of real estate and not selling or buying any number of pieces of real estate. The attorney in fact is the person who has been granted or given the power of attorney. Related words: power of attorney, revocation. Assignee. Person receiving the assignment of a lease or contract. An assignment is a transferring of rights and responsibilities for a lease or contract to another entity. The person doing the assigning is the assignor or principal, and the person receiving the assignment is the assignee. Assignment does not relieve the principal from obligation of the responsibilities of the contract or lease. A novation is required for that to happen. A novation is a complete transfer. A novation is not just a transferring of the rights and responsibilities to another person, but a substitution of one principal for another. An assignment is the transferring of rights and responsibilities for a lease or contract to another person or entity. The assignee is the person receiving the assignment. Related words: assignment, novation. Panic selling. Making owners afraid of declining property values, so they sell. Panic selling is another word for blockbusting. The strategy is for an agent to tell a potential seller that there is something undesirable happening in the neighborhood, which causes fear in the seller and causes them to sell fast and cheap. The actions that originally caused the practice to be made illegal was telling sellers that minorities are moving into the neighborhood and that this would cause property values to drop, so they would sell fast and cheap. Using fear to get another person to do one thing or another is a bad idea. The practice of panic selling, making owners afraid of falling property values so they sell, is illegal. Synonyms: blockbusting. Comps. Properties of comparable location and value. Quote, comps, end quote, is short for comparables, and it is one of the main appraisal methods for determining fair market value for a real property. The name of appraisal method is a comparable sales method. By using the square footage, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, and other features, comparable properties which have sold recently in the general area are used to establish a fair market value of the subject property. Comps are comparable properties sold within a certain distance, parentheses, a mile or two, end parentheses, and within a certain time frame, parentheses, previous 90 days, end parentheses, that can be compared to the subject property. 3 to 6 comps can be enough to establish a fair market value of a subject property. Erosion. Slow washing away of land. Water is a very powerful force. Water moves land by moving small amounts of dirt, soot, and soil, which can eventually add up to very large amounts, parentheses, reference the Grand Canyon formed by water and ice over millions of years, end parentheses. Accession is when forces like moving water and wind add to a property. Accretion is the natural buildup of soil on a property caused by natural forces, like moving water as in a property which borders a river. Avulsion is the violent washing away of land, parentheses, imagine the effect of a flash flood could have on a hillside, end parentheses. Reliction is the extending of land by the natural deposit of dirt and soil by moving water, called alluvial deposits. Reliction results in accession. Erosion is the slow washing away of land. Erosion is a slow but sure process which can cause massive damage over time. Related words: avulsion, accession, accretion, reliction.